Hi there, my name is Carlos Hernandez. I am with Metro's community education team. More on what our team programs are a little bit later. But for now, we are standing outside of the Goal Line Operations Yard in the beautiful city of Monrovia. And as you see behind me, it's dedicated to the late Mayor Bob Bartlett, which helped make this yard happen. So, before we get into some of the fun facts about this yard, let's move over and see the sustainable garden that was planted for the community to enjoy.
Now let's take a look at the Goal Line Operations Campus. First, let's take a look at the sustainable garden that was planted outside of the walls of the Operations Campus for the community to enjoy. Next, let's take a look how this campus is generating clean, renewable energy on site. 178.5 kilowatt on-site solar panel array allows the campus to produce its own renewable energy with an average of 22,000 kilowatt hours generated per month, enough to power 1/3 of the campus needs. If the electricity produced by the solar array is not immediately used, it is sent to the grid for use elsewhere. Now, storm water management system. Underneath much of the campus is a stormwater management system that captures the first 112,000 gallons of rainwater. It is then filtered and sent to the underground chambers with open bottoms to allow the water to infiltrate and replenish the groundwater aquifers. Next, let's take a look at a few renditions of the upcoming Glendora to Montclair extension of the Goal Line. Now let's take a look at the beautiful Monrovia Metro Station. This station has a 350 parking space facility, which also has parking for bicycles and has lockers. Now, the daily Gold Line riders pre-COVID were 48,000 people on a weekday. Post-COVID, or today, the daily riders are 12,000 people. Now, this station is adjacent to the historic Santa Fe Rail Depot and the Station Square Amphitheater. Here you see the historic Santa Fe Depot fully restored and an amphitheater on the same area that is used for events and summer concerts. Now let's go back to the station to look at the art and the artist. The artist is based out of Pasadena and has commissioned artwork for Pasadena and the city of Los Angeles, as well as others, and is focused on the use of ceramic tiles and glass. Now, we're gonna move in and watch a short video clip of the way the art was created.
Hi again, I'm back, and this time we're in front of a beautiful Monrovia Metro Station. Again, thanks to Mayor Bob Bartlett for helping us with the station. And in this station, we're gonna see some of the art and the artists behind the station in a bit.
The Foothill Gold Line from Pasadena to Azusa broke ground in June 2010 and will be substantially complete in late September 2015, when it will begin pre-revenue service. 6 new stations have been built as part of this phase of the line. Each provides a unique experience through the work of public artists. Artists were selected by the respective station city to create artwork that represents the community, its history, and culture. Over the past few years, the artists have been hard at work in their studios and with their fabrication partners, bringing their initial concepts to fruition, as well as overseeing installation of their artwork at the stations. In this video, we'll visit Monrovia station artist Cherie Tang as she completes preparations and installation of her art pieces at the Monrovia station.
For the column bases, I have relief tiles, and some of these were historic and some that I have carved myself. It was a pleasure to be able to involve the community into my work. I took this chance to appeal to the people who had relief tiles. I would go to their home and make an impression of the original historic tile, and then I will make a positive impression by making silicone mold, and then make a negative impression into the plaster mold so that I can pour the clay, which will then be a positive. So it's a positive, negative, and then positive again. I would be able to make a copy of it for the station and one for them. This is one of my first batchelder finds. It was at the Espresso Cafe. I just went in one night and made impressions. About 2 weeks later, the whole thing disappeared. So I figure I'm doing a favor to the world to preserve it. So for the ramp, which is a long distance, I wanted to bring in the idea of the river meandering. I had been doing some experiments with glazes, mixing different glazes together and making it run. And I said, wow, this is like watercolor. So I call them watercolor tiles, and it goes well into this river theme that I have. And you can see things bubbling up and flowing around. Once I had the concept of river of time, I want to incorporate nature into the design. The rock came from southern part of China, near a river where the water will wash through it and carve it for thousands of years. Conceptually, I did not want to tamper with something that's already beautiful. So I decided to set it in a pool of glass. I developed some glass bricks, which are made from thousands of pieces of little triangles, and insert them into the concrete. It will not require any maintenance. It will still look very active with the light bouncing around like a wave. Judging by the size of the column bases, I figured out a good proportion, which was 18 inches high by 12 inches wide. And then I just tried to fit as many designs in 32 panels as I could. So for the ramp, I like to work visually, so I just create a whole bunch and judge them as I see each one. So I have a lot of tiles to play with, and I pick a little here and a little there, and then see what happens. But it's all by instinct. It was supposed to be in the middle, but then we didn't want to walk on them, so we put them on the side. As the plaza is taking shape, I am very excited that my rock would be incorporated into it. There will be benches around it so you can sit and enjoy this artistic natural landscape. The passenger or traveler will be able to experience the art in lots of different ways. They can ride along with the train and just see a blur, or they can stop and really examine each piece. Each time it will be different because they're hundreds of tiles to look at.
The Foothill Gold Line from Pasadena to Azusa is part of the expanding system of rail lines funded by LA County's Measure R. The Foothill Gold Line Construction Authority is responsible for the line's planning, design, and construction. The Construction Authority will be substantially complete with construction in late September 2015, when the agency turns the line over to LA Metro for pre-revenue service. Metro anticipates starting passenger service in 2016. For more information on the Foothill Gold Line, or to view other videos about the project, visit www.foothillgoldline.org.
Including at transfer stations.
I'm back again, and we're gonna board the goal line.
If you do not have a validated
Put our mask
tap
on.
card, you may be subject to penalties.
Gracias por viajar en Metro.
The next stop is Duarte
Hi
City
again.
Post Station.
I'm back, and want to remind everybody that face masks are still required on Metro. Face masks are still required, and please maintain your 6-foot distance. And please remember to wash your hands frequently if you're touching the handrails. In a bit, we're going to talk about some of the programs that Metro has. Thank you.
Now let's look at how Metro's community education team and transit safety program provides site-specific workshops and rail safety orientation tours for K through 12 schools, as well as attend community events where we talk to the community about. So what is Metro? Metro Rail, the goal line that you have through your community, Metro Bus, the buses that run through your community, and also at select locations there are Metro Bike Share locations also. Now, Metro's community education team is responsible for increasing transit safety awareness and providing education through in-person workshops. Of course, this is pre-COVID, in-person assemblies at schools, and then also outdoor events, could be health fairs or whatever the community events where we're talking to the community about transit safety. Remember, this was pre-COVID. And field trip program, pre-COVID, expand your curriculum beyond the classroom and let Metro help get you there. So how do we help get you there? Metro provides the passes that will get you from your school site to the destination, maybe a museum for the students and for the teachers. And Metro will also provide a staff person that will escort you the first day from your school site to your destination. Now, of course, COVID hit. Remember to stay 6 feet apart. Remember to wash your hands frequently. And remember, face coverings are still required. Now, of course, COVID, and we went virtual. So these programs that we had where we did presentations in person all went virtual. Let's see, we're going to take a virtual tour. So where are we going to go? Looks like the train is traveling along the B line or the red line towards North Hollywood. Let's see where it goes. Let's take a tour. We're going to get to the La Brea Tar Pits in 2023. We currently get to the Thai Hollywood, Pantages Theater, Hollywood in Highland, an exciting place to go to, and also Universal Studios or Universal City Walk. Now, let's take a look There's some safety tips we have to remember when we're on a platform. No skating on a platform. It is not safe. Remember, stay behind the yellow line while you're waiting for a bus or for a train. And remember to please be careful when you're walking. She's walking backwards. Walking backwards is probably not safe, and be aware of your surroundings. And remember, no biking on the platform. Yes, you can walk your bike on the platform and walk your bike on the train, but you do not ride your bike on the platform. And of course, no eating on the platform and no eating on the train. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed.
Duarte, City of Hope Station.
All right, now we're exiting the train, and in a bit, we're going to talk about the On the Move Riders program, a program designed for our older adult riders. I hope you like it. I know you're going to like it.
Now let's take a look at Metro's On the Move Riders program, designed for our older adult riders. On the Move Riders program strives to enhance and improve senior mobility throughout LA County. We want to make sure that we keep people active and exploring all that LA has to offer, from museums to other destinations along the Metro route. Let's take a look at this little short video that will describe about the program a little bit more.
My name's Lily Ortiz. I'm with On the Move Riders program. We teach older adults how to utilize the buses and trains throughout the system. We host a number of pop-up events throughout the county. They're meant to bring information and resources to the people in that area. Typically, it starts out with a presentation on how to use the buses and the trains. And then, in addition to our presentation, we invite our friends from the agency and outside of the agency, and they provide value.
Now that you have a better idea, let's move on. So, community outreach pre-COVID, educational workshops that they talked about on that little video, where we teach people how to use public transportation and how to use it safely. Transit-oriented resources we provide, from maps to trip planning to other information that we provide. Community events, we attend other community events like health fairs, and we talk to people about public transportation and how to use it safely. And informational transit tours. So if we go to a senior center and there's not already an established senior travel group there, then we will provide an informational transit tour where we will pick a date and we will pick a stop by the senior center, and we'll go somewhere to a museum or Olvera Street or Union Station. And along the route, we talk about public transportation safety on the buses and the trains and on the platforms. And we talk about the tap vending machines. Then we come back. At the end of the day, when we come back, people are usually saying, we want this to continue monthly. We want this to continue every 2 months or whatever. And what we usually say is, we need somebody to take and be the volunteer here. We will train them, and then they will organize monthly outings for the travel group. Now COVID hit, so post-COVID. So we're not out there in person at the centers. We're not out on actual trips. We're doing virtual tours. We wanted to stay engaged with all of our older folks. So we have different virtual tours, from Metro Art Tours, which talks about the art and the artist along the different stations, along the different lines. We have LA Historical Monument, which talks about Olvera Street, the birthplace of Los Angeles. We have LA County Libraries as our partner, that talks about all the digital resources they have, from digital books to digital movies to learn a new language. We have Metropolitan Water District that talks about the history of the LA Aqueduct. We have LA, the history of LA street names. How many times have you been driving on the street and you say, I wonder where this name came from, like Sepulveda and Temple and Pico? Those were all families that were here early in the 1900s. And Workman and Temple Family Homestead Museum also. And then we bring Southern California Edison to talk about conservation. Of course, conservation to save the planet, but conservation also to help save you on your utility bills. And then we have watch parties. In some cases, we have watch parties of a whole museum, virtual museum being narrated, and we have a conversation afterwards. Now, we have travel buddy meetings every 2 weeks where we preview new content that we're going to share with the rest of the folks, and where we get feedback as to what people want to see. And then we have regional meetings. These regional meetings are the ones that have these virtual tours. So if you want to be enrolled in these virtual meetings, I'm going to provide my contact information in a bit, and you can send me your email. I'll include you in the list, and you'll be on these lists every 2 weeks. With that, I want to thank you for participating, and I hope you enjoyed.
Please stand clear.
She needed to ask something? Maybe multiple family. I tell you, I'm going to send you guys a video later on. All right. So did we have a good time? We're all back. All right. Good. I hope you're enjoying this 11th annual MAP conference, virtual edition. So, and I also hope you enjoyed this conversation regarding Metro and Metro programs. So I want to remind you that while on Metro, face coverings are still required. Face coverings are still required. Please remember to maintain your distance 6 feet apart. And please remember to wash your hands frequently. With that, I hope to see you on Metro sometime soon. Thank you very much and enjoy the conference.
I hope you're enjoying this 11th annual MAP Neighborhood Conference virtual session. And I want to thank you for selecting the Metro Gold Line class here today. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you're interested in any of the virtual sessions that I talked about today, here's my email address. Please email me and I will send you detailed information. Now, below also are the web addresses for the transit safety programs and for the On the Move Riders Club. For the On the Move Riders Club, you could also find us on Facebook and on YouTube. With that, again, I want to thank you for joining us here today and continue to enjoy this MAP Neighborhood Conference.